first entry making their way into the ring is going to be the Solomon Clydesdales. They're owned by Solomon Clydesdales from Madrid, Iowa. Driven by Mr. Jared Gardner. They are sponsored by the Bank of the West. Next entry coming in is going to be the Young Living Essential Oils per Trans. All the way from Mona, Utah. They're owned by Young Living Essential Oils, driven by Mr. Tim Sparrow, and they are sponsored by ECI Insurance Agency. Double S Belgians rounding out our class. They're owned by Bryce Smith and family from Menon, Idaho. Mr. Kyle Forsyth up there on the box, and they are sponsored by Glenwood Snacks. Drivers on the rail out of trot, please. All trot. Come around, starting with the Solomon Clydesdales. You're going to start our reverse. Watch your ring on his direction and reverse, please. And drivers bring him down to the walk. All walk, please. Everybody walk. And pick it back up to the trot. Driver, space yourself on the rail and show your sixes. All trot. And as you come around, starting with the Solomon Clydesdales, watch our ringmaster. You're going to bring them in and line them up, please. Starting with the Solomon Clydesdales entry, line them up.
Round number 3. 3 in the arena, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a nice round of applause. A beautiful.
Thank you so much. We also want to thank our major sponsors, Topeka Livestock Auction, Shipshawana Trading Place, and Total Equine.
We do want to thank, again, Dr. Harry Anderson of Total Feeds, another supporter for many years of our Classic Series finals. Dr. Harry is an expert in the nutrition of your horse. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and we have made it that we are going to be opening the gates and the doors a little early tomorrow. At 1 o'clock in the MEC meeting room, Dr. Harry Anderson will present a seminar where you have an opportunity to learn all about the critical basics that will produce the following results. As our horses are making their way out, we again want to thank Dr. Harry Anderson, and he will be talking on many, many topics tomorrow, and that starts at 1 o'clock.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, our gates are going to open a little early tomorrow. Our gates open around 12:30. And make sure you check out our silent auction up here in the upper concourse, section number 10. Our silent auction is going to be from 2 p.m. to 3:45 p.m. The top 12 hitches have provided baskets of goods representing their hitch. The bidding will end at 3:45. This silent auction will benefit our youth cart finals and our scholarships. We also would like to thank our arena sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, our friends over at Reinhold Tack and Western Wear, Forest River, Robin Promotions, Appointments USA, Cusack Meats, and Gold Star Printing.
Well, Jared, our judge, has seen all the entries. It is a clean slate. If you were here last evening, we had Mr. Junior Klein as our federal judge, and you know that his final results were put in an envelope and given to our executive director. No one knows the results of last night's competition, and that will be the same for today. Our judge, Mr. Reese Mangles, making his decisions whether we're going to have a drive-off and see some of these hitches back in, maybe 1, maybe 2 drive-offs. But the same as last night, once he has made his final scorecard, it will be sealed, and they will not be opened until all 3 nights of our 6-horse hitch have been in front of our judges, and then we will tabulate them and crown our champion. So it puts a lot of excitement in the barn. It also might cause a little worry. Did I give it all? We know they gave it all they had, but was it good enough tonight? Where did I place it? Just gives everybody that incentive to work just a little bit harder, and each and every night they are coming in here giving it their all. So our judge again, Mr. Reese Mangles, working with Larry, our ring steward, to decide who we are going to have an opportunity to see once again. And Jared, we always call it the run for the roses. They've all had their individual heats to work, but now they're going to go head to head. The judge is going to ask to see a few of them, and they're going to go head to head with those competitors that, as they are, giving it their all.
Well, it looks like our judge is most certainly putting together a redrive. It could be the top 3, the top 6, or it could be the middle or the bottom. It does not matter. It's whatever the judge wants to see back. Give somebody a second look, a second class, keep them together however he wants to do it. And so we're just moments away from a redrive. And it's never too late to text for your fan favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, get your phones out, 405-868-4245, and we are still taking text messages before we crown our fan favorite.
And while we are thanking all of our sponsors, they are key to our success, we do want to give a special shout out to the community of Shipshawana. They have opened their arms to welcome the Classic Finals. They've given unlimited hospitality and support. So from all of us to all of you in this community, thank you so much for being such an amazing place to host this event.
We've been up here since Monday, putting this thing together, getting ready for the finals, and it's been a great week, a lot of fun. We've met a lot of great people. Like I said, Lisa said, the hospitality, the food, everything's just been tremendous. We got one more round. Make sure you come back tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. As we were saying, that we won't be placing any hitches tonight. It's a sealed envelope, but tomorrow, make sure you come back. The show starts at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and we will crown a new world champion. They're moving traffic around out there in the paddock area and getting our redrives ready. Like I said earlier, Mr. Mark Hostetler, Logan Reinhold, and the whole committee here at the World Finals doing a great job working hard and trying to keep set. The gate is open. We're going to go for our redrive.
Well, let's hope your favorite is making their way in. Our first section.
Make sure you're glad to see him back in the arena. We're going to say hello once again to the Young Living Essential Oils, Mr. Tim Sparrow. Welcome back to the arena, sir. And the Jackson Fort Branch Bertrons, Mr. Ross Hunsberger. How about getting another chance to see the Express Ranch Bertrons, Mr. Josh Mitchell on the grill at a trot. Please show your sixes. Drive on all trot. And we're going to start our reverse. Watch your ring to go ahead, swing and ride. We're going to start our reverse with the Young Living Bertrons. Keep them at a trot, please, driver. Show your sixes, trot on. And starting with the Young Living Bertrons, bring them in and line them up on your ring course direction. You can bring them in and line them up, please. Ladies and gentlemen, how about that for Friday night? It's the Bertron Power at Chipshaw. We're going to go ahead and open up that out gate, drivers. You can pull out to your left. The judge has called for a second redrive. We have one more redrive.
You know, Jared, we talk about the drivers a lot, but we have to give a lot of credit to those co-drivers, those people up on the box seat with our drivers. They have a lot of responsibility too. Most of the time you are going to see them adjusting lines behind the driver. When those drivers have 6 lines that are fed back through the fingers, there cannot be any hiccups. They cannot be twisted, they can't have a knot. And a lot of times you will see those co-riders or those co-drivers adjusting the lines in the back. Also, they're paying attention to Jared and I. They're paying attention to Larry in the ring, listening, telling the driver what to do. They are their eyes. They're looking forward, telling them to slow down or to speed up. They play a key role, and if there's any issues, you will see how fast they jump off that wagon. They're down on the ground fixing it and back on before most of us even see what happened.
There definitely can't be enough said about the crews of these hitches. You only see 2 of the people in the ring. There's another 5 to 10 people that help to get these horses ready, working hard out there in the barn. We're going to open up that gate and bring in our second redrive. We're going to say hello to the Belgian horses. It's the Double S Belgians, Mr. Kyle Forsyth. We're going to welcome you back to the Mech Center. How about the OK with Belgians and your hometown driver, Mr. Delmar Beachy. It's the Hammersmith entry. The gate is closed. Drivers on the rail out of trot. Please show your horses all trot. going to start our reverse with the double S Belgians. Double S, you're going to start our reverse. Watch your ringman down there in the corner. Bring him around, please. Hand back to the trot, please. Keep them on the trot. Space yourself. Trot on. We are going to start with the double S Belgians. Bring them in, line them up. Bring them in nice and close now. Watch your ring in his direction. Up close to the rail. Up close to the rail. Bring them in nice and close.
Not only do we get to see the beautiful gentle giants, but you watch our drivers, the way they maneuver these bitches, our talented drivers, some of the best in the industry.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about our second redrive? Give it a nice round of applause. Man, what a great Friday night spin. You will not find any better horses, any better drivers in the draft horse community than we've had right here in Shipshewana. The top 12 in the world, and once again, like we said, competing for over $100,000 in prize money this week. They've been traveling all across the United States and Canada, collecting points, trying to make it to the finals every September.
And there were so many doubts this year with all of our shows canceling and not knowing if we were going to be able to have a final. And when the decision was made, it went full force to come to Shipshewana, and it did not disappoint. Jared and I just talking up here, what a great production this has been. And our crew, we have the easy job up here. The crew working out there, getting these horses in and out safely and quickly and following all the cues. What a tremendous group we have working this finals.
We're so glad that each one of you came out for us this evening. Make sure you come back here tomorrow. It's not a 6 o'clock start time tomorrow. It's 4 o'clock. So make sure you're here bright and early, around 1, 2, 3 o'clock. Check out our silent auction. Check out Harry Anderson's meeting. And just spend the day with us here at the Michigan Event Center. And make sure you take your brochures this evening. The beautiful show brochures you got there at the front door. On your way out, get a autograph from these drivers. The top 12 drivers in the world will be signing autographs down there in the concourse area at the front door.
And not only the drivers, yes, Jacob will be there. So Jacob will be happy to talk with you and sign your autographs too. We thank him. He has been a great part of our show. He's been traveling all around different businesses and sponsors of Shipshewana and helping to promote our event. As you drive around Shipshewana, you will see a lot of our exhibitors have their semis parked, again, helping to promote and bring awareness of our 6-horse hitch finals here in Shipshewana. If you have a camera with you make sure to get a picture. This is a Kodak moment for sure, bringing the history of our draft horses back to life here. A beautiful turnout with all 12 hitches in the lineup.
Well, Shipshawana, what do you think about the top 12 of the world? Make sure you stand up, give them a nice round of applause. These are the best drivers, the best horses, the best crews, the best owners in the country. And we're going to tip our hats to you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as you see all these people that are walking out to the arena, these are our sponsors. Our sponsors get to ride on the wagons. It's a pretty special deal for them to get to hop aboard. Their drivers, their wagon sponsors, whoever they're sponsoring for the evening, and all the people that are hopping on these wagons are the reason that we're able to have this horse show this evening, and these are our sponsors.
And we do, as he says, all of the sponsors going out, we do have a special one that we do want to recognize, because this talks about the heritage and the generations that go back with our exhibitors and these sponsors and the memories that are being made. On our wagon, that is the Glenview Clydesdales. Riding out with Kenneth today will be Jake Rademacher, and he is a great-great-grandson going back to the shop in the early 1900s that grandfather Rademacher had. Then Shipshawana Harness, the sponsor. Todd worked for Shipshawana Harness, and nice to have Jake joining us and sitting up on that wagon, again, showing the heritage of all of these families. And we talk about families, ladies and gentlemen. We do want to acknowledge, if you have a close-up look, you will see that our drivers and our co-drivers are wearing ribbons. Those ribbons are in green and gold, and as our family comes together, our drivers and crews are wearing those ribbons in support of our family and our friends, Jake and Kim Scott. Jake's father lost his battle with cancer on Thursday, preventing Jake and his family from being here.
Our major sponsors, Topeka Livestock, Rick and Andrea Welsh. We want to thank Shipshawana Trading Place, Keith and Brian Lambright, Total Equine, Dr. Harry Anderson, all our wagon sponsors, all our arena sponsors for making this show possible, all the wonderful people down there on these wagons.
Those wagon seats look big until we try to get 3 or 4 people on them. And I know that these drivers are making room to get as many as they can on there, because this is such an exciting part of our show where we get to put the spotlight on those sponsors. And as Jaron has said repeatedly, our show would be without our sponsors.
All right, we are going to excuse our drivers. You can pull out to your right. We're going to start down here at the far. We're going to start down here at the far side with the Double S Belgians.
Oh, they said, look at how hospitable Josh is. He says, we got room. Climb up on that wagon. We can put people in the back.
Double S Belgians, they are owned by Bryce Smith and family, Kyle Forsyth from Menon, Idaho. They are sponsored by Glenwood Snacks.
We are going to be sending out in the arena next the entry of the Oak Haven Belgians, owned by Dr. Michael Stone of Fremont, Ohio, under the guidance of Mr. Delmer Beachy, sponsored by Yoder Concrete.
And we are going to go to the Hammersmith Belgians. Once again, Jason Hansberger doing the driving. They are owned by Craig and Chris Hammersmith from Defiance, Ohio. They are sponsored by Adaptation Financial. We want to welcome Craig and Chris Hammersmith and Jason Hansberger, Scott Love, and the whole crew back to the finals.
The Glenview Clydesdale is going to be making that tight turn out to the right with the driver Ken and I, our first qualifying female driver in the Clydesdale division. Taking them out today, sponsored by Shipshewana Harness and Supplies. Mr. Jake Rademacher riding as an assistant. I see Sue up there as well, representing Shipshewana Harness. Glen New Clydesdale's entry of Glenn and Pat Perkins of Harrisville, Michigan.
And we're going to tip our hat to the next entry, the High Point Clydesdales, owned by Brett and Annette Fielding. They are driven by Mr. Freeman Yoder, joining us from Hooper, Utah, and they are sponsored by Chuck Auctions and Real Estate.
Our friends from the Blue Ribbon Days Percherons making their way out next under the guidance of Mr. Dean Woodbury. This hitch owned by Albert and Karen Clevey, Jim and Pig Day, and Stefan Dittmar. They are sponsored today by the Blue Gate Hospitality.
And the next hitch pool now, we do want to welcome the Solomon Clydesdales to the finals this year. They're driven by Mr. Jared Garner and owned by Solomon Clydesdales, joining us from Madrid, Iowa, and they are sponsored by the Bank of the West.
Continuing with the Clydesdales, the Crushing Trans Clydesdales, owned by Paul Snyder and family of Douglas, Wyoming, making their way out with the driver, Mr. John Nicely. Sponsored today, Yoder Meat and Cheese Company.
And the next hitch pool out down there, the Belgian Mares and the Red Wagon is Smart Cabinetry. They're driven by Mr. Bud Miller. This hitch is owned by Marlon Miller from New Paris, Indiana, and they are sponsored by Berkshire Farms.
We're going out west to Little Jackson Hole, Wyoming, as we welcome the Jackson Fort Range Percherons. Mr. Ross Hosberger doing the driving. They are sponsored by Pinwood Equine. Nice to have Chad and Rhonda joining us here in Shipshewana.
And as you watch up here on the far side, the circle gets tighter and tighter. The next hitch pull down is going to the Black Ellings in the Purple Wagon. It's the Young Living Essential Oil Percherons. They are driven by Mr. Tim Sparrow, owned by Young Living Essential Oils. Once again, joining us from Mona, Utah, and they are sponsored by ECI Insurance Agency.
And our final entry to make their way out, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Express Range Percherons under the guidance of Mr. Josh Mitchell, joining us from Yukon, Oklahoma, owned by Mr. Bob Funk. A special thank you to their sponsors, Country Road Fabrics.
Ladies and gentlemen, what about Josh Mitchell, huh? Making the corner down there, nice big round of applause as he exits the arena. Is the Express Ranch Percherons. Well, ladies and gentlemen, round 2 is in the books. If you want to see the outcome of the World Finals, make sure you're back here at 4 o'clock tomorrow. We are going to crown a champion. What about our fan